The 1970s were a time of bold innovation in farming, and Case IH was leading the charge. From powerful traction kings to compact utility workhorses, these tractors brought features decades ahead of their time. Yet somehow, many of them faded into the shadows of history. Today, we're uncovering 10 forgotten Case IH tractors of the 70s that were nothing short of brilliant but left behind as hidden legends. Trust me, number 6 will blow your mind. Number 1. Case 1070. The Case 1070 stands as one of the most important mid-sized tractors released in the early 1970s, even though today it often slips under the radar when we talk about influential farm machines of that decade. Introduced at a time when farmers were rapidly expanding their land holdings and demanding versatile equipment, the 1070 was Case's answer to the need for a tractor that could balance power, efficiency, and affordability. Powered by a dependable 4-cylinder diesel engine producing roughly 70 horsepower, the tractor was a compact yet surprisingly muscular machine, giving it the ability to perform across a wide variety of tasks, from heavy fieldwork like plowing and cultivating to more day-to-day duties such as planting and hauling. The Case 1070 delivered results that made it a true workhorse. One of the standout features of the 1070 was Case's effort to prioritize operator comfort. In an era where most tractors were still fairly utilitarian, Case incorporated improved seating, easier-to-use controls, and an ergonomic design that made long hours in the cab more bearable. Farmers often underestimated how physically exhausting tractor work could be, especially during harvest when operators could spend 12 to 14 hours a day in the seat. By designing the layout in a way that reduced strain and fatigue, Case was quietly ahead of its time. Many of today's modern tractors focus heavily on operator ergonomics, but the 1070 was an early example of a company taking this concept seriously. Another key innovation was the option for four-wheel drive, which wasn't common on tractors in this power range during the early 1970s. With the 4WD option, the 1070 gained far better traction in muddy fields, sandy soils, and hilly landscapes. Farmers working in less than ideal conditions found the 1070's performance to be significantly better compared to some of its competitors, and this feature alone won the model a loyal following. Maintenance was another area where the 1070 shined. Case engineers designed the tractor with durability and accessibility in mind, meaning farmers could carry out routine repairs or checks without the frustration of dismantling half the machine. This made ownership practical, especially for small to medium farms, where downtime could mean losing precious days in planting or harvest. Coupled with the model's relatively low fuel consumption for its power category, the 1070 was considered an economical machine to own over the long term. Number 2. Case 1370. The Case 1370, introduced in the mid-1970s, was a larger and more powerful sibling to the 1070 and marked Case's attempt to capture farmers who needed greater horsepower without sacrificing efficiency. Equipped with a 6-cylinder diesel engine that produced between 85 and 90 horsepower, the 1370 was designed to handle heavier implements such as larger plows, wide disc harrows, and more advanced seeding systems. For many mid to large farms, this tractor represented a sweet spot, powerful enough to tackle serious fieldwork, yet still efficient and affordable compared to the massive machines emerging in the same decade. One of the 1370's most notable features was its advanced hydraulic system. While many competitors still struggled to provide consistent hydraulic flow or precision, the 1370 gave farmers smoother, more reliable operation of hydraulic implements. This was especially important for planting and cultivation tasks, where precision mattered for efficiency and yields. Farmers who operated the 1370 often commented on how much easier it made running equipment compared to older tractors that lacked such refinements. This hydraulic sophistication showed Case's awareness of the growing complexity of modern implements and their need for reliable power sources. Comfort was another area where the Case 1370 stood out. While optional cab enclosures were available, even the open platform versions were designed with operator ergonomics in mind. With better seating, improved control placement, and reduced vibration, the tractor allowed operators to work longer with less fatigue. By the mid-1970s, cabs with weather protection were becoming more desirable, and Case made sure the 1370 could be outfitted with features that protected farmers from dust, heat, cold, and rain. This was not just a luxury, it was becoming a necessity for efficiency on larger farms, where time lost due to operator fatigue could be costly. Despite its strong feature set, the Case 1370 didn't gain the widespread popularity it deserved. Much of this had to do with timing and marketing. Other tractors like the International Harvester 1586 and John Deere 4430 were capturing farmers' attention with higher horsepower ratings and aggressive marketing campaigns. Compared to those models, the 1370 looked somewhat understated. Case tended to focus on practical design rather than flashy promotion, which meant that many farmers simply weren't aware of what the 1370 offered. Another challenge for the 1370 was perception. While reliable and powerful, some farmers saw it as caught between categories. It wasn't quite as large as the high-horsepower tractors that were becoming popular for industrial-scale farming. Yet it was more expensive than smaller, less powerful tractors that smaller farms found sufficient. This left it appealing to a narrower segment of the market. Nevertheless, those who used the Case 1370 often swore by its reliability and efficiency. It was particularly praised for its smooth handling in the field and its ability to deliver steady power without unnecessary fuel consumption. For farms with diverse needs, handling both large field work and more general tasks, the 1370 offered versatility that many competitors couldn't match. Number 3. Case 1570. The Case 1570 represented a fascinating middle ground between mid-sized and high-powered tractors, filling a niche that many farmers needed in the 1970s. Introduced as part of the Agri-King line, the 1570 offered about 95 horsepower powered by a rugged 6-cylinder diesel engine. While it wasn't the biggest or most powerful tractor in Case IH's lineup, it brought with it a mix of durability, efficiency, and advanced technology that helped it stand out among its contemporaries. The 1570's engineering gave farmers a reliable option for both moderate and heavy-duty farm tasks, from tilling and planting to pulling larger implements when needed. One of the standout features of the Case 1570 was its torque amplifier TA system. This technology allowed operators to shift between speed ranges without stopping the tractor, a major time-saving advantage when working in fields with varying conditions. For farmers who had experienced the inefficiencies of older manual gear systems, the TA was a revelation. It meant less time wasted and smoother transitions under load. The tractor also came with a refined transmission that was capable of handling heavier workloads, reducing the chances of gear strain and prolonging the life of the machine. Beyond its drivetrain, the 1570 incorporated improved hydraulics that gave operators more precise control over implements such as plows, seeders, and loaders. Smooth hydraulic performance was critical at a time when farms were expanding and tasks were becoming more demanding. The Case 1570's robust build quality also ensured reliability. Its heavy-duty frame and reinforced components minimized downtime caused by mechanical failures, which was essential during critical planting or harvest windows, when delays could be costly. Despite its strengths, the Case 1570 was somewhat overshadowed by larger, flashier tractors that attracted more marketing attention. Farmers who needed over 100 horsepower often skipped it in favor of more powerful Case or IH models, while smaller operations opted for lighter, cheaper tractors. As a result, the 1570 slipped into relative obscurity. Today, the 1570 has been rediscovered by collectors and enthusiasts as an underrated gem. Many appreciate how it combined innovative technology with dependable construction, all while staying versatile enough to serve both mid-sized and larger farms. The Case 1570 may not have been a headline grabber in its day, but it represents a crucial step in Case IH's pursuit of durable, farmer-friendly machines that paved the way for modern tractors. Number 4. Case 2090. The Case 2090, released in the late 1970s, marked a new phase for Case IH, aiming to meet the growing demand for high-horsepower tractors designed for large-scale and industrial-style farming. Boasting a powerful diesel engine capable of producing around 100 horsepower, the 2090 was no lightweight. It could handle heavy workloads, from deep tillage and pulling large planters to towing heavy trailers across rugged farmland. However, what truly set the 2090 apart was not just its power, but its emphasis on operator convenience, a relatively new focus in tractor design at the time. Case engineers invested considerable effort into the tractor's cab design. The 2090 featured better seating, improved visibility, and a more ergonomic control layout than many of its contemporaries. For operators who spent 10–12 hours a day in the field, this was a game changer. Comfort was no longer seen as a luxury but as an essential feature that boosted productivity by reducing fatigue. The layout of the controls was intuitive, allowing farmers to operate implements with greater precision and less strain. This early focus on ergonomics foreshadowed the operator-first designs that would dominate tractor engineering in later decades. Another notable innovation of the 2090 was its torque converter system. This feature allowed for smoother acceleration and more efficient power transfer to the wheels, giving the tractor better traction and control in difficult soil conditions. Instead of jerky starts or power loss under load, the torque converter delivered steady performance, an asset in heavy tillage or when climbing hilly terrain. This kind of technology was ahead of its time and showed how Case was experimenting with systems to maximize efficiency. Yet, despite these innovations, the Case 2090 struggled to find widespread success. Its relatively high purchase price placed it beyond the reach of many mid-sized farms, while larger farms often gravitated toward competitors such as John Deere or Massey Ferguson, which had broader dealer networks and more aggressive marketing. Many farmers were hesitant to invest in a new system like the torque converter, preferring the familiarity of traditional gear-driven tractors. As a result, the 2090 was overshadowed in its era, but today, enthusiasts admire it as a brilliant but underappreciated machine. Its balance of horsepower, advanced engineering, and operator comfort represents a turning point in tractor design, one where technology began to focus not just on raw power, but also on making the operator's job easier and more efficient. Number 5. Case 2390. Introduced in the mid-1970s, the Case 2390 was built with one purpose in mind: handling the demands of large-scale agriculture. This tractor packed a 6-cylinder diesel engine delivering close to 110 horsepower, making it a heavy-duty machine capable of tackling the toughest jobs on the farm. Whether it was pulling large plows, towing multiple implements, or managing heavy hauling, the 2390 had the muscle to get it done. At a time when farms were growing larger and the push for efficiency was stronger than ever, the 2390 was exactly the type of machine many operations needed. One of the defining qualities of the Case 2390 was its advanced hydraulic system, which offered smoother control and better efficiency with heavy implements. This meant operators could manage larger, more complex equipment without struggling with sluggish hydraulics. In addition, Case included an optional cab, a feature that was quickly becoming essential by the mid-1970s. With this cab, operators had protection from dust, weather, and noise, and the improved seating and visibility further enhanced comfort. These features showed Case's commitment to operator-focused design, even in a decade when many manufacturers still treated comfort as an afterthought. Maintenance was another area where the 2390 shone. The tractor was designed with easy access to key components, making it less time-consuming and less expensive to service. Case's engineers built the machine with durability in mind, using heavy-duty parts that could withstand long hours and tough conditions. This reduced downtime during critical planting and harvest seasons, which was invaluable for farmers who couldn't afford delays. Number 6. Case 2590. Power, precision, and practicality. The Case 2590, introduced in the late 1970s, was a tractor that embodied Case IH's growing reputation for building powerful, durable, and operator-friendly machines. With a 6-cylinder diesel engine producing around 120 horsepower, the 2590 was designed for farms that required consistent pulling strength and the ability to handle large implements without sacrificing reliability. Positioned above mid-sized models but below the true heavy-duty giants of the era, the 2590 served as an excellent all-rounder for large family farms and small commercial operations. One of its biggest strengths was its advanced hydraulic system, which provided precise control over heavy implements. This allowed operators to use large plows, drills, and harvest attachments with smoother handling and less strain. The hydraulics, combined with a refined transmission system, gave the 2590 an edge over many competing tractors of the same class. Where other machines often required awkward gear changes or struggled with jerky performance under heavy loads, the 2590 delivered smooth power transfer and dependable field performance. Case engineers also placed a strong emphasis on operator comfort and ergonomics. The cab of the 2590 featured improved seating, enhanced visibility, and logically placed controls that reduced operator fatigue, a crucial factor during long days in planting or harvest seasons. The shift toward comfort may not sound revolutionary today, but in the late 1970s it reflected a significant cultural shift in tractor design. Despite its impressive engineering, the Case 2590 struggled to gain the recognition it deserved. Its higher price point made it less appealing to smaller farms, while larger farms sometimes chose even bigger models or rival brands like John Deere and International Harvester. Additional availability issues in certain regions meant that some farmers never even considered the 2590 as an option. Those who did purchase it, however, came to respect the 2590 for its dependability, smooth operation, and technological innovation. Many operators recalled that once the 2590 was properly maintained, it could run season after season with minimal breakdowns. Today, collectors and case enthusiasts see the 2590 as a forgotten workhorse, a tractor that combined raw strength with practical technology and comfort, making it one of the more brilliant yet underappreciated machines of the 1970s. Number 7. Case 3294, the quiet giant of the 70s. The Case 3294 was one of the most versatile and powerful tractors of the late 1970s, designed to keep up with the expanding scale of North American farms. With its large diesel engine delivering well over 120 horsepower, the 3294 was built to handle multiple heavy-duty implements simultaneously, from large cultivators and seed drills to balers and wagons. For many farmers, it offered the perfect balance between brute strength and refined technology. One of the 3294's standout qualities was its cab design, which was ahead of its time. The cab offered enhanced visibility, improved comfort, and strategically placed controls. Farmers often noted how easy it was to keep track of implements in the field while staying comfortable behind the wheel. This attention to ergonomics reflected a growing recognition that comfort and productivity were linked, and Case IH made sure operators could spend long hours in the tractor without excessive strain. Another major feature was the torque converter system paired with a refined transmission. This allowed the tractor to deliver smoother performance under load while reducing mechanical stress. Farmers appreciated this because it not only improved daily operations but also extended the longevity of the machine. Less mechanical wear meant fewer breakdowns and lower maintenance costs, a big advantage in an era when every day of downtime during harvest could mean serious losses. Despite its strengths, the Case 3294 never reached the fame it arguably deserved. Part of the reason was marketing strategy. Case IH often highlighted flashier, more powerful models in advertisements, leaving the 3294 in the shadows. At the same time, new competitors were emerging in the global tractor market, pulling some attention away from Case's offerings. Number 8. Case 4490, a leap into high horsepower farming. By the late 1970s, farms were becoming larger and more industrialized, and tractors had to evolve to keep up. Enter the Case 4490, a tractor that represented a bold step forward in Case IH's lineup. Powered by a diesel engine producing over 150 horsepower, the 4490 was designed for large-scale farming operations that required consistent power and efficiency. One of the biggest innovations of the 4490 was its cab design. This tractor wasn't just about raw power, it was about making life easier for the operator. Features like climate control, better seating, and improved visibility brought a new level of comfort to farming. For many farmers, the ability to work long hours in a relatively quiet and comfortable cab was nothing short of revolutionary. This shift highlighted Case IH's growing focus on ergonomics and operator well-being. Technologically, the 4490 also stood out with its advanced hydraulics and refined transmission system. Implements could be managed more smoothly, and the tractor handled heavy loads with less mechanical strain. Farmers who operated the 4490 often recalled how it brought a sense of control and dependability to large-scale operations, where precision and efficiency were crucial. Despite all these strengths, the 4490 faced challenges in the marketplace. Its high price tag made it unattainable for many farms, while established competitors like John Deere had stronger dealer networks and more aggressive marketing campaigns. As a result, The 4490 was often overlooked, even though it was one of the most technologically advanced tractors of its decade. Number 9. Case 4494. Built for the biggest jobs. The Case 4494 was designed with one thing in mind: handling the largest, toughest jobs on the farm. With an engine that delivered around 170 horsepower, the 4494 was among the most powerful Case IH tractors of the 1970s. It was built for large-scale plowing, planting, and towing, making it ideal for commercial farms and industrial agricultural applications. What truly set the 4494 apart was its emphasis on versatility and operator convenience. Case IH equipped it with cab enclosures, advanced hydraulics, and ergonomic controls that made long days in the field far more manageable. The cab provided better protection from dust and weather, while the improved hydraulic system allowed smoother and more responsive implement control. This combination of power and operator-friendly design made the 4494 a standout option for big farms. Unfortunately, the 4494's strengths weren't enough to guarantee widespread adoption. Its high purchase cost limited its market, and the smaller Case IH dealer network in some regions meant fewer farmers had easy access to it compared to competitors like John Deere or Massey Ferguson. As a result, many potential buyers opted for more widely available alternatives. Even so, the 4494 left a mark on those who did use it. Farmers valued its raw strength and durability, noting that it could handle jobs that pushed other tractors to their limits. Today, the 4494 is seen as a brilliant but forgotten machine, admired by enthusiasts for its balance of power, sophistication, and practicality. It's often described as one of the most underrated heavy tractors of the 1970s, a model that deserved more recognition than it received in its day. Number 10. Case 5130. Small but smart. Not every tractor from the 1970s was built for massive fields and industrial-scale farming. The Case 5130, introduced toward the late 1970s, represented Case IH's commitment to smaller farms and specialized applications. Compact yet powerful, the 5130 featured a diesel engine that offered reliable performance while maintaining excellent fuel economy. This balance made it attractive for farms that needed efficiency without the excessive cost or size of larger tractors. What really made the 5130 special was its innovative hydraulic system and precise implement control. Unlike larger tractors that were built for brute force, the 5130 was engineered for delicate and accurate tasks such as seeding, cultivating, and spraying. Farmers appreciated how responsive and smooth its hydraulics were, allowing them to perform precision work that larger, bulkier tractors struggled with. The 5130 also benefited from Case IH's growing focus on operator comfort. Its compact cab or open station design included intuitive controls and good visibility, allowing operators to stay productive without excessive strain. For smaller farms, orchards, or specialized operations, this tractor delivered exactly what was needed. Despite its brilliance, the 5130 was overshadowed by bigger models in Case IH's lineup. Marketing tended to focus on high-horsepower giants, and smaller tractors like the 5130 didn't get the attention they deserved. This lack of visibility meant many farmers never realized how innovative and reliable the 5130 was. And there you have it, the 10 forgotten Case IH tractors of the 70s that proved just how far ahead this company really was. Some were workhorses, some were innovators, but all of them deserve to be remembered as part of farming history. Which tractor from this list impressed you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your favorite. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more tractor history, and as always, keep your engines running strong.